Wealthy parents sneered at a black scholarship kid, their scorned chain, until his tech startup soared, buying their sprawling mansion and turning their disdain into dust. Devin Carter, a 22-year-old black scholarship student from Atlanta, endured the contempt of rich parents at an elite prep school, dismissed as an outsider unfit for their world. Years later, his tech startup's meteoric rise allowed him to purchase their opulent mansion, a poetic reversal of their prejudice. This wasn't just a business deal. It was a radiant stand for resilience, intellect, and justice, forging a legacy that reshaped Atlanta's elite circles and echoed through the city. Before we plunge into this blazing story of rising above hate, drop a comment and tell me where you're tuning in from. If this tale of a black innovator turning scorn into triumph strikes your soul, hit that like button and subscribe to Narratives of Black Struggles for more raw truths about America's racial fight. Your support fuels these stories. Picture an elite Atlanta prep school, where privilege reigns and prejudice prowls, but one student's about to face a storm he didn't summon. Devin Carter, armed with grit and genius, steps into a battle he'd rather not fight, but his vision burns brighter than their shade. Let's dive into the story, where the fire ignites. Devin Carter's sneakers scuffed the polished marble of Westminster Academy's grand atrium, the morning sun spilling golden shards through stained glass windows, August 15, 2018. Chandeliers gleamed above, their prisms dancing on mahogany panels, the air thick with the musk of old wealth, leather-bound books, and the whispered hum of ambition. At 16, Devin was a quiet ember, dreadlocks tucked neatly under a school-issued cap, brown eyes sharp as a coder's gaze parsing flawless syntax, his navy blazer stiff with newness, a bronze keychain etched with a circuit board, a gift from his mentor, Dr. Lena Brooks, dangling from his backpack, its weight a reminder of his mother Angela's steady hymn, "Build your truth, Devin. You're forged for this." He was here as a scholarship student, the first in his Mechanicsville family to breach this elite Atlanta prep school, his mind wired for algorithms, his heart tuned to dreams of tech that could bridge worlds. But the venom of rich parents' scorn was poised to turn the academy into a crucible, testing his resolve and igniting a battle he hadn't chosen, his blackness a mark in a school that prized prestige but not always its bearers. The atrium, Westminster's heart of gilded legacy, pulsed with privilege, students in crested blazers chattering like heirs to empires, portraits of white alumni staring down from oak-paneled walls. A spiral staircase soaring to classrooms where power was taught and inherited. Devin, born to Mechanicsville's cracked sidewalks, where streetlights flickered over asphalt lots, where church choirs at Zion Hill Baptist poured hope into humid evenings, had earned his place through a citywide STEM contest at 14. His coding prowess spotted by Dr. Brooks, a Morehouse College computer science professor who'd mentored him through hackathons and late-night debugging in community centers. His keychain, bestowed after his first hackathon win at 13, a simple app to connect food banks, was his talisman, its circuit board a mirror of his mind's intricate wiring, a testament to Brooks' fierce whisper, "Your code's your power, Devin. Wield it like a sword." Angela, a MARTA bus driver navigating Atlanta's pre-dawn routes, waited at home, her hands calloused from years at the wheel, her text aflare across his phone, "Shine, son, like you always do." Devin's breath steadied, his mother's love his anchor, Mechanicsville's pulse, laptops humming in church basements, hymns soaring from pews, neighbors sharing meals under flickering sodium lights, his rhythm. He crossed the atrium, his backpack heavy with textbooks and a battered Chromebook, his eyes scanning the morning's tapestry, students whispering behind manicured hands, a history teacher nodding curtly. The marble floor echoing footsteps like a metronome of privilege. Richard and Evelyn Harrison, a white power couple whose hedge fund and socialite status loomed over Atlanta's elite, stood by the dean's office, their tailored suits crisp, their gazes cold as polished steel. Richard, his Rolex glinting under the chandeliers, leaned toward Evelyn, his voice low but cutting. "That's the scholarship boy, the one they let in to check a box." Evelyn's lips curled, her pearls gleaming, her whisper sharp. "He doesn't belong here, Richard. Look at him, dreadlocks, cheap shoes. A diversity quota, nothing more." Their son, Preston, a junior in a tailored blazer, lounged nearby with his clique, Elliot and Chloe, their crested ties loose, his smirk loud. "He'll flunk out by Christmas, Dad. No way he keeps up." Devin's chest tightened, a familiar weight pressing like a runtime error in his gut, but he kept his stride even, his keychain warm against his palm, years of shade, classmates mocking his dreadlocks as unkempt, teachers doubting his calculus proofs. Cops eyeing his laptop bag as he biked through Mechanicsville, stealing his spine. In AP Computer Science, Devon's code sang, a Python script for a physics simulation earning rare praise from Ms. Hargrove, a stern teacher with gray streaks. Brilliant, Devon, this is college-level work. Preston scoffed from the back, his voice carrying, lucky guess, scholarship kid. Bet he copied it. Elliot chuckled. Chloe rolled her eyes, their laughter a blade slicing through the hum of cooling fans. Miss Hargrove frowned but moved on, the class's silence a jury-rendering verdict. Outsider. Devon's heart burned, but he coded on, his terminal glowing with green text, Angela's voice a chant weaving through his mind. Build your truth. The Harrison scorn spread like a virus, parents at a fundraising gala whispering, he's not one of us, their voices clinking with champagne flutes, Evelyn's pearls a noose, Richard's Rolex a gavel. He'll drag the school's reputation down, a donor muttered, their eyes glinting under the ballroom's chandeliers, their bias a chain tightening around Devon's dreams. The atrium's rhythm pulsed, after-school clubs buzzing, debate team prepping, lacrosse players shouting, but Devon's focus narrowed to his Chromebook, his side project taking shape, a platform to deliver free education to underserved schools. His app a seed of equity in a world of gates. Dr. Brooks visited the academy for a STEM workshop, her Morehouse badge gleaming, her lab coat crisp, her voice cutting through the atrium's hum. Devon Carter's a genius, Richard. His code could change lives if you'd see past your prejudice. Evelyn's lips pursed, her voice silk-wrapped venom. He's out of place, Lena. Westminster's for legacy, not charity cases. Richard's Rolex snorted. He'll peek at a hackathon, then fade. Always do. Preston lingered, his smirk sharp. He's nothing, Dr. Brooks. Devon's heart thundered, his keychain a pulse in his pocket, but he stood tall, his code a quiet rebellion, his app, EdEquity, a prototype ready to spark. A school-wide tech contest loomed, hosted by Georgia Tech, a $50,000 prize and investor connections at stake, Devon's platform a beacon in a field of privilege. The Harrisons' influence cast a shadow. Preston's app, a derivative social media clone, backed by his father's network, but Devon's resolve burned brighter, his nights spent weaving code in Mechanicsville's community center, his mother's prayers a shield, his mentor's faith a sword. The atrium was his crucible, a stage where marble dreams clashed with asphalt grit. The Harrisons scorn a chain he'd break, their legacy a fading echo against his rising fire. He debugged a final function, his terminal flashing green, his app projecting equity for millions, his truth a spark poised to blaze through Westminster's gilded halls and beyond. A memory flickered, Mechanicsville, 2015, Devon 12, coding his first app in a church basement, Brooks' voice fierce. Your code's your power, Devon, wield it like a sword. Angela's hands, calloused from bus routes, plugged in his first laptop, her night shifts at MARTA funding his dreams, her love a fire that burned through doubt. Her voice had trembled then, her eyes wet. You're my genius, son. That vow build, no shade, a legacy kindled in Devon's heart, a spark born in Mechanicsville's soul, where laptops hummed under flickering fluorescence, choirs sang of redemption, and neighbors shared meals beneath sodium streetlights. The Westminster atrium was Devon's crucible, the Harrisons' scorn a fleeting ash, his fight a fire ready to blaze through Atlanta's elite circles and beyond, his truth an algorithm soaring toward the stars. His code a chainbreaker for every kid dreaming on concrete. The computer lab at Westminster Academy glowed under the harsh fluorescence of noon. August 22, 2018, a week after Devon Carter's presence as a black scholarship student sparked the venomous scorn of the Harrisons. Richard's Rolex glinted dismissal, Evelyn's pearl-strung sneer, Preston's taunting quota kid. Their words a chain he'd begun to unravel with lines of unyielding code. Devon sat at a terminal, his navy blazer draped over his chair, dreadlocks neatly tucked under his school cap, brown eyes fierce like a debugger parsing flawless syntax, his bronze keychain. Dr. Lena Brooks' circuit board, dangling from his backpack, its weight a quiet vow against the shade. At 16, he was code incarnate, his fingers weaving algorithms in Python and JavaScript, his heart pulsing with the rhythm of innovation. The Harrisons' disdain lingering like a runtime error. He doesn't belong here. But his startup idea, a platform for equitable education, was a flame kindled in his soul, poised to blaze through their prejudice and light a path for others, turning scorn into a stand that would echo across Atlanta's tech dreams. The lab was a crucible, its rows of monitors humming like a choir, keyboards clacking in sync, the air thick with the faint ozone of overheated circuits, and the sharp ambition of students vying for greatness. Beyond the lab's glass walls, Westminster's manicured lawns stretched toward Atlanta's skyline, the spires of Midtown piercing the humid haze, a world of privilege that felt both within reach and impossibly distant. Devin, a son of Mechanicsville's cracked asphalt, where streetlights flickered over community courts, where gospel choirs at Zion Hill Baptist poured hope into sweltering nights, crafted his app, EdEquity, his code a lattice of elegance, each function a verse in a poem of access, designed to deliver free education to underserved schools. His keychain, bestowed after a city hackathon win at 13, was his anchor, its circuit board a mirror of his mind's intricate wiring, a testament to Brooks' fierce whisper, "Your code's your rebellion, Devin. Let it roar." Angela's text flared across his phone, sent from her MARTA bus during a break. "You okay, son? Keep shining." Dr. Brooks' email pinged, her words sharp and warm. "Your app's gold, Devin. Don't let their shade dim your light." Devin's breath steadied, his mother's love his anchor, Mechanicsville's pulse, laptops humming in church basements, hymns soaring from pews, neighbors sharing meals beneath sodium lights, his rhythm. He debugged a module, his terminal window alive with green text, his app projecting access for 10,000 students, its interface sleek, its logic a beacon of equity in a world of gates. The lab buzzed around him. 20 students, mostly white, their crested blazers slung over chairs, their banter sharp and exclusionary. Preston Harrison lounged at a nearby station, his terminal open to a derivative social media app, his smirk loud as he leaned toward his clique. Elliot Baxter and Chloe Reed, their ties loose, their privilege a shield. Quota kids coding. Preston scoffed, his voice carrying over the clack of keyboards. "Cute, but he's out of his league." Elliot chuckled, his blonde hair flopping. "Bet he copied it from Stack Overflow." Chloe rolled her eyes, her voice dripping. "He'll crash and burn. Always do." Their laughter was a blade, slicing through the hum of cooling fans, the lab's silence a jury rendering verdict. Outsider, unworthy. Devin's chest burned, a syntax error pulsing in his veins. But he kept his focus on his screen, his fingers steady, years of shade. Classmates mocking his dreadlocks as unkempt, teachers questioning his calculus proofs as flukes, cops eyeing his laptop bag as he biked through Mechanicsville, stealing his resolve. Ms. Hargrove, the AP computer science teacher, circled the lab, her gray streaks glinting, her voice stern. "Carter, let's see your progress." Devin shared his screen, his app's dashboard glowing. Interactive lessons, real-time analytics, a scalable platform for schools like those in Mechanicsville. "This could serve 10,000 students yearly, free," he said, his voice calm, his Atlanta drawl thick, his metrics crisp. Hargrove nodded, rare praise in her tone. "Impressive, Devin. This is visionary." Preston's voice cut through, sharp and mocking. "Visionary? It's a pipe dream. Ms. H, scholarship kids reaching too high." Elliot snickered, Chloe whispered, their laughter a chorus that drowned the hum of monitors. Hargrove frowned, her marker pausing, but moved on, the class's silence a weight pressing Devin's shoulders. His heart thundered, but he coded on, Angela's voice a chant weaving through his mind. "Build your truth." The lab's rhythm pulsed, students typing, Preston's clique bantering, the contest looming. A Westminster STEM fair hosted by Georgia Tech, offering a $50,000 prize and investor connections, a ticket to turn EdEquity from prototype to reality. The Harrisons' influence cast a shadow. Richard's hedge fund bankrolled Preston's app, a shallow social media clone, his network swaying judges, Evelyn's socialite charm securing sponsors. Devin's nights blurred, coding in Mechanicsville's community center, his Chromebook glowing under flickering fluorescence, Angela's prayers a shield, Brooks' mentorship a sword. The Harrisons' scorn spread, parents at a PTA meeting whispering, "He's dragging the school's reputation." Their voices clinking with wine glasses, Richard's Rolex a gavel, Evelyn's pearls a noose. "He'll peak at a hackathon, then fade," a donor muttered, their bias a chain tightening around Devin's dreams. Dr. Brooks visited for a coding workshop, her Morehouse badge gleaming, her voice slicing through the lab's hum. Devin Carter's app is genius, judges. It's equity, coded in Python, ready to change lives. Preston scoffed, his terminal open to his derivative app. It's a charity project, Dr. Brooks, not a startup. Elliot chuckled. Chloe rolled her eyes, their laughter ablaze. Brooks' eyes blazed, her tone fierce. His code's tighter than your entire portfolio, Preston. Watch him soar. Devin's heart surged, his keychain warm in his pocket, his app a rebellion against their shade. He pushed a final commit, his terminal flashing green, his platform projecting access for millions, its scalability a beacon in a field of privilege. The STEM fair loomed, Devin's ed equity pitted against Preston's app and others, the prize a lifeline for his startup. He refined his pitch, his nights spent weaving code, his days dodging the Harrisons' whispers. Quote a kid, out of place. Their influence a fog clouding the judge's vision. Mechanicsville rallied. Zion Hill's choir prayed. Ms. Ruth, an elder neighbor, spread news at the corner store. Devin's our star. Angela's colleagues at MARTA fundraised for his server, their hands calloused, their faith afire. The lab was Devin's crucible, a stage where asphalt dreams clashed with marble privilege. The Harrisons scorn a chain he'd break, their legacy a fading echo against his rising fire. His code was his shield, his keychain his anchor, his blackness a crown forged in Mechanicsville's heart, where laptops hummed and redemption burned. A memory surged. Mechanicsville, 2016, Devin 13, winning a city hackathon with a transit app, Brooks' voice proud. Your code's your power, Devin, let it roar. Angela's hands, scarred from bus routes, powered his PC, her night shifts funding his dreams, her love a fire that burned through shade. Her voice had steadied him then. You're my genius, son. That vow, build, no shade, a legacy, kindled in Devin's soul, a fire born in Mechanicsville's rhythm, where streetlights flickered, choirs sang, and neighbors dreamed under humid skies. The Westminster lab was Devin's crucible, the Harrisons' scorn ash, his fight ablaze ready to light Atlanta's tech dreams and beyond, his truth and algorithms soaring toward the stars, his code a chainbreaker for every kid coding in the dark. The auditorium at Westminster Academy thrummed under the soft amber of September's evening haze. September 5, 2018, 2 weeks after Devin Carter's EdEquity app clinched the school's STEM fair. Its victory a searing rebuke to the Harrison scorn, quote a kid, he'll flunk out, their words ash against the flame of his code. Devin stood at a projector, his navy blazer sharp against the glow of a massive screen, dreadlocks neatly tucked under his cap, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville dusk, his bronze keychain, Dr. Lena Brooks' circuit board, dangling from his backpack. A quiet testament to his ascent. At 16, he was a rise, his startup gaining traction with a $50,000 prize and investor nods, his heart a drumbeat for educational equity, his mother Angela's voice a steady him. Build your truth, Devin. You're forged for this. The Harrison shade lingered, overhyped, a lucky break, a venomous whisper, but Devin's vision was ablaze, his platform poised to soar, reshaping Atlanta's tech landscape and kindling hope for millions. The auditorium was a crucible, its velvet seats packed with students, parents, and Georgia Tech judges, their tablets glowing with pitch decks, the air thick with the sharp tang of ambition, the faint rustle of programs, and the hum of anticipation. Beyond the hall's arched windows, Atlanta's skyline twinkled, Centennial Olympic Park's fountains glinting, a city of dreams both gilded and gritty. Devin, a son of Mechanicsville's cracked asphalt, where streetlights flickered over community courts, where gospel choirs at Zion Hill Baptist poured hope into sweltering nights, had turned his scholarship into a launch pad. His app now serving 10,000 students with free lessons, its scalability a beacon in a world of gates. His keychain, bestowed after his first hackathon, was his anchor, its circuit board a mirror of his mind's wiring, a testament to Brooks' fierce whisper, your code's your rebellion, Devin. Let it soar. Angela sat in the front row, her bus driver's uniform swapped for a navy dress, her eyes glistening like dew on Georgia peaches, her text a flare, you're my star, son, always. Brooks leaned beside her, her Morehouse badge glinting, her lab coat crisp, her voice sharp. Lead, Devin, rewrite their script. Devin presented to a panel of venture capitalists, his projector flashing EdEquity's dashboard, interactive lessons, real-time analytics, a platform scaling to 100,000 users, his voice calm, Atlanta drawl thick. EdEquity delivers free education to underserved schools, projecting access for 1 million students in 5 years, with $10 million in social impact. His metrics glowed: user growth exponential, latency under 0.5%, partnerships with Atlanta Public Schools, his logic a tapestry of equity woven in Python and JavaScript. The VCs leaned forward, their pins darting, one whispering, "This kid's a unicorn." Richard Harrison sat in the back, his Rolex dull, his voice low to Evelyn. "He's overhyped, a flash in the pan." Evelyn's pearls glinted, her whisper sharp. "A scholarship boy playing startup? He'll crash." Preston, their son, slouched nearby, his derivative social media app forgotten, his smirk faint. "Lucky break, he'll choke under pressure." Their clique, Elliot and Chloe, nodded, their laughter a blade, but Devin's heart surged. The shade of familiar lash, cops eyeing his laptop bag, teachers questioning his proofs, peers dismissing his code while praising Preston's crashes. Miss Hargrove, the AP computer science teacher, moderated, her voice steady. "Devin's platform is visionary, judges." Brooke stood, her presence a shield. "His code's tighter than any I've seen. VCs. Fund him. Or miss the future." The Harrisons' influence faltered. Richard's hedge fund couldn't sway the panel. Evelyn's charm useless against Devin's metrics. "A lead VC," Sarah Gwynn, rose, her voice sharp. "Equity's a game changer. We're offering $1 million, seed round, 10% equity." The auditorium roared, students leaping, Angela weeping, Maya filming, her ex-live hitting 8 million views. Devin's rising, they scorned him. #tech bias. Comments erupted. "Black genius." "Harrison's out." Devin's heart thundered, his keychain warm, his vision a rebellion against their shade. The rise was grueling, nights coding in Mechanicsville's community center, days dodging Preston's taunts. "You'll crash," quote a kid, his clique's laughter a chain. Devin scaled equity, onboarding 50,000 users, partnering with HBCUs like Morehouse and Spelman, his platform a lifeline for schools like those he'd known, where textbooks were scarce and dreams abundant. Angela's colleagues at MARTA fundraised for his server, their hands calloused, their faith afire. Ms. Ruth, a Mechanicsville elder, hosted prayer circles. "Devin's our hope." Brooks' Morehouse lab became his base, her voice fierce. "You're their reckoning, Devin." The Harrisons' shade lingered, parents whispering at a gala. "He's dragging Westminster's name." But Devin's app was a shield, serving 100,000 students, its impact a beacon in a world of gates. The VCs doubled their offer, $2 million, 8% equity, equity's valuation hitting $10 million. Investors from Silicon Valley circling. Preston's app flopped, his father's network useless, his smirk gone. The auditorium was Devin's crucible, a stage where asphalt grid outshone marble privilege. The Harrisons scorn a chain he'd break, their legacy of fading echo. He debugged a final API, his terminal flashing green, his platform projecting equity for millions, his truth a fire poised to blaze through Atlanta's tech and beyond. A memory surged. Mechanicsville, 2017, Devin 14, coding a community app for transit. Brooks' voice proud. "Your code's your legacy, Devin." Angela's hands, scarred from bus routes, powered his server, her love of fire. That vow build, no shade, a legacy, shone bright, a rise kindled in Mechanicsville's rhythm, where streetlights flickered, choirs sang, and neighbors dreamed under humid skies. The Westminster Auditorium was Devin's crucible, the Harrisons' scorn ash, his fight ablaze ready to light Atlanta's tech dreams and beyond, his truth and algorithm soaring toward the stars. The sleek boardroom of equity's headquarters in Atlanta shimmered under the fierce blaze of July's midday Sunday, July 15, 2023, 5 years after Devin Carter's equity app ignited a revolution at Westminster Academy, turning the Harrisons' venomous scorn, quote a kid, out of place, into a radiant triumph that redefined Atlanta's tech landscape and toppled their gilded empire. Devin stood at a glass conference table, his tailored charcoal suit sharp against the hum of holographic displays, dreadlocks swept back in a low bun, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville dawn, his bronze keychain, Dr. Lena Brooks' circuit board, tucked in his pocket, its weight a quiet vow of his ascent. At 22, he was a triumph, his startup now a $500 million juggernaut, his heart pounding as he negotiated a real estate deal to purchase the Harrisons' Buckhead mansion, a 25,000-square-foot fortress of marble and chandeliers. His mother Angela's voice steadied him. "Build your truth, Devin. You're forged for this." The Harrisons' shade lingered. "He'll never belong in our world," a venomous echo now silenced by his success, his acquisition a legacy poised to blaze through Atlanta's elite circles, rewriting their history with a stroke of his pen. The boardroom was a crucible, its floor-to-ceiling windows framing Atlanta's skyline. Mercedes-Benz Stadium a silver torch in the humid haze, the air alive with the sharp tang of fresh espresso, the faint hum of server racks, and the relentless pulse of ambition. Holographic screens pulsed with EdEquity's metrics, 50 million students served globally, $10 billion in educational equity unlocked, partnerships with UNESCO, Google, and the Gates Foundation, while Buckhead's mansion sprawled below. Their manicured lawns a fading symbol of old power. Devin, a son of Mechanicsville's cracked asphalt, where streetlights flickered over community courts, where gospel choirs at Zion Hill Baptist poured hope into sweltering nights, had scaled his startup from a scholarship kid's prototype to a global force. His platform delivering free, world-class education to underserved communities from Atlanta to Accra. Now, as CEO, he faced Richard and Evelyn Harrison, their tailored suits creased, their faces pale, their Buckhead mansion on the table, its $25 million grandeur a fire sale to escape the jaws of foreclosure. Their hedge fund collapsed under fraud probes and bad bets, their legacy a crumbling facade. Devin's keychain, bestowed after his first hackathon at 13, was his anchor, a testament to Brooks' fierce whisper, "Your code's your revolution, Devin. Let it rain." Angela sat among the observers, her navy dress radiant, her eyes glistening, her hands no longer calloused from Marta's wheel but clasped in pride, her text aflare, "You're my king, son, always." Dr. Lena Brooks, her Morehouse badge glinting, leaned beside her, her lab coat swapped for a blazer, her voice fierce, "Devin, you're their reckoning, their mirror." Maya Carter, Devin's 19-year-old sister and a Clark Atlanta University computer science freshman, filmed for X, her voice sharp and trembling. "My brother's buying their mansion. Y'all, they scorned him at Westminster." Her live stream hit 50 million views, the hashtag #TechBias trending globally. Devin triumphs, Harrison's fall. Comments erupted like wildfire. Black King. Harrison's done. Preston Harrison, now a struggling grad student at a second-tier college, stood behind his parents, his tailored blazer frayed, his smirk erased, his own startup, a shallow social media clone, bankrupt, his father's network unable to save him. Devin's executive team, coders, lawyers, CFO Aisha Patel, a Wharton grad with a razor-sharp mind, flanked him, their laptops open, their trust a shield forged in his vision, their presence a testament to EdEquity's diverse empire. Richard Harrison leaned forward, his Rolex dulled by years of hubris, his voice clipped but brittle. "Carter, your offer's a low-ball $15 million for a $25 million estate. We're not desperate, boy." Evelyn's lips curled, her diamonds dim under the boardroom's LEDs, her voice silk-wrapped venom. "You don't belong in Buckhead, scholarship kid. This is our legacy, our home, marble halls, curated art, history you can't grasp." Preston muttered, his face flushed with resentment. "You got lucky, Carter, that's all. EdEquity's a fluke." Devin's heart surged, the shade of familiar lash, cops eyeing his laptop bag as he biked through Mechanicsville at 14, teachers at Westminster suggesting he aim lower than Georgia Tech. Peers like Preston mocking his dreadlocks while their buggy apps won unearned praise. He stood tall, his holographic display flashing EdEquity's valuation, $500 million, projected to hit $1 billion by 2024, his voice calm, his Atlanta drawl thick and measured. "My offer's fair, Richard. $15 million cash, closing in 48 hours, or the bank takes your mansion in foreclosure. Your legacy's on borrowed time, not mine." Aisha Patel slid the contract forward, her voice sharp as a blade. "Sign, Mr. Harrison, or lose everything. EdEquity's cash is ready, your creditors aren't." Her metrics glowed on the screen, cash flow soaring at $200 million annually, user growth exponential, partnerships with 100 HBCUs and global NGOs, her nod fierce. "Devin's offer is generous. More than your estate's worth in this market." The Harrison's lawyer, a gray-haired man in a creased suit, leaned in, his face grim, his whisper urgent. "Richard, take it. The fraud probes are closing in, the bank's at your door." Richard's hand trembled, his jaw twitching, but Evelyn's voice broke, a crack in her polished veneer. "How dare you, a nobody from nowhere, think you can buy our home? Our family's history, generations of wealth, influence, you can't touch that." Devin's heart burned, but he met their eyes, his keychain heavy in his pocket, his voice a quiet command. EdEquity serves 50 million students, generates $200 million a year, and employs 1,000 people, half from communities like mine. I'm not a nobody, I'm built. Your mansion's a memory, a husk of debt. I'm offering you a way out, not a favor. The boardroom's silence was electric, the Harrisons' lawyer nodding, Richard's pen hesitating over the contract, Evelyn turning away, her diamonds glinting as tears welled, Preston's silence a weight he couldn't shed. Richard signed, his signature jagged, Evelyn's pearls a fading noose, the contract closing with a thud that echoed like a gavel. The mansion, sprawling lawns, gilded halls, marble staircases, was now Devon's, a $15 million purchase to transform it into Adequity's innovation hub, a space for Mechanicsville's coders, Atlanta's dreamers, and global visionaries to build a future unbound by gates. The room erupted, Devon's team leaping, Patel high-fiving coders, lawyers clapping, Brooks embracing Angela, Maya's ex live hitting 100 million views. Devon bought their Buckhead mansion, they scorned him. Hashtag tech bias. Comments roared. Black billionaire. Harrison's humbled. Lisa Tran, a venture capitalist who'd seeded Adequity's first round, stood, her voice amplified. Devon Carter's our architect, Atlanta's future, his vision's rewriting tech's rules. Mechanicsville surged beyond the boardroom's glass. Zion Hill Baptist hosted vigils, community centers buzzed with coding boot camps. Ms. Ruth, an elder neighbor, wept at the corner store. Devon's our star, our pride. Angela organized a tech expo at her church, her colleagues at MARTA funding servers for local kids, their hands no longer calloused but raised in celebration. Brooks Morehouse Lab mentored youth. Maya's app, a platform for Black student coders, scaled, her voice fierce. Devon paved my way. The community was a furnace forging hope, Devon's triumph a beacon, the Harrisons' scorn a fading echo. The mansion deal was grueling, legal battles, creditor disputes, the Harrisons' shade, but Devon's code, his keychain, his blackness were his crown, forged in Mechanicsville's heart, where laptops hummed under flickering fluorescence and redemption burned eternal. He walked the mansion's grounds that evening, its marble cold, its chandeliers dim, a husk of the Harrisons' pride now a canvas for his vision. Angela joined him, her navy dress swaying, her voice soft. You did it, son, you build a world. Brooks followed, her eyes fierce. This is your legacy, Devon, a hub for dreamers like you. Devon's heart swelled, his keychain a pulse, his startup a fire that had outshone marble privilege, his triumph a chainbreaker for every kid coding in the shadows. A memory bloomed, Mechanicsville, 2020, Devon 17, pitching Adequity's prototype to local VCs. Brooks' voice fierce. Your code's your legacy, Devon, let it rain. Angela's hands, scarred from years at MARTA, powered his server, her sacrifices, night shifts, skipped meals fueling his fire, her love a beacon that burned through shade. Her voice had steadied him then. You're my genius, son. That vow build, no shade, a legacy, shone bright, a triumph kindled in Mechanicsville's rhythm, where streetlights flickered, choirs sang, and neighbors shared dreams under humid skies. The Adequity boardroom was Devon's crucible, the Harrison's scorn ash, his fight ablaze that lit Atlanta's tech scene and beyond, his truth a startup soaring toward the stars, his code a chainbreaker for every dreamer coding on cracked asphalt. The grand hall of the Atlanta Tech Summit roared under the molten cascade of October's evening lights. October 15th, 2023, 5 months after Devon Carter's Adequity acquired the Harrisons' Buckhead mansion, transforming their venomous scorn, quote a kid, he'll never belong, into a radiant legacy that crowned Atlanta's tech landscape with unyielding brilliance. Devon stood at a podium, his tailored charcoal suit sharp against the hum of holographic screens, dreadlocks swept back in a low bun, brown eyes blazing like a Mechanicsville star, his bronze keychain, Dr. Lena Brooks' circuit board, tucked in his pocket, its weight a quiet vow of his triumph. At 22, he was a legacy, his keynote unfolding before 15,000 souls, coders, investors, students, Mechanicsville elders, Atlanta's tech titans, global visionaries, his heart soaring for his city and the world, his mother Angela's voice a steady him. Build your truth, Devon. You're forged for this. The Harrison's shade was ash, Devon's startup a crown, his vision a movement that reshaped Atlanta's elite circles, ignited a global revolution, and stood eternal, a fire that would light generations. The hall was a kingdom, its tiered seats a vibrant mosaic. Students from Georgia Tech clutching laptops, coders from Microsoft in hoodies, elders from Zion Hill Baptist with hands clasped, executives from Google and Amazon scribbling notes, their tablets and screens glowing like constellations, the air thick with cheers, the faint pulse of a jazz quartet's saxophone fading from a pre-summit reception. The stage a polished altar under sweeping LED beams. Holographic screens flanked Devon, replaying Edequity's seismic impact. 120 million students served across 90 countries. $25 billion in educational equity unlocked. A Nobel Prize nomination for social innovation. While Atlanta's skyline shimmered beyond the glass, Centennial Olympic Park's fountains glinting like liquid stars, a city pulsing with dreams both gilded and gritty. Devon, a son of Mechanicsville's cracked asphalt, where streetlights flickered over community courts, where gospel hymns burned through humid nights, had turned his Westminster scholarship into a revolution. His Buckhead mansion, once the Harrisons' fortress of privilege, now an innovation hub hosting coders from Atlanta to Nairobi, its marble halls alive with laptops, its chandeliers illuminating dreams unbound by gates. His keychain, bestowed after his first hackathon at 13, was his anchor, a testament to Brooks' fierce whisper, "Your code's your revolution, Devon. Let it rain." Angela sat front row, her navy dress radiant, her eyes glistening like dew on Georgia peaches, her hands no longer calloused from Marta's wheel, but raised in pride. Her text aflare across Devon's phone. "You're my king, son, always." Dr. Lena Brooks, her Morehouse badge glinting, leaned beside her, her lab coat swapped for a tailored blazer, her voice fierce. "Devon, you're our legacy, our mirror." Maya Carter, Devon's 19-year-old sister and a Clark Atlanta University computer science freshman, filmed for X, her own app, a platform for Black student coders, scaling rapidly, her voice sharp and trembling. "My brother's a king, y'all. He bought their mansion. They scorned him at Westminster." Her live stream hit 300 million views, the hashtag #TechBias trending globally. Devon's legacy rises, Harrison's fall. Comments erupted like wildfire. Black billionaire. Harrison's humble. The Harrisons were absent, their ruin a footnote. Richard's hedge fund bankrupt under fraud probes. Evelyn's socialite status erased, their Buckhead estate now Edequity's hub, a symbol of reclaimed power. Preston Harrison, their son, sat in the back, a struggling grad student, his frayed blazer a shadow, his smirk gone, his eyes flickering with grudging respect, his failed startup a memory. Devon's executive team, coders, lawyers, CFO Aisha Patel, a Wharton grad with a razor-sharp mind, stood stageside, their laptops open, their trust a shield forged in his vision, a testament to Edequity's diverse empire. Devon stepped to the mic, his keychain a pulse in his pocket, his voice steady, Atlanta drawl thick and unbowed. "This crown isn't mine alone. It's Mechanicsville's, Atlanta's, every kid they chain with shade, every dreamer they tell can't belong. Code your truth, and no scorn can dim your light." The hall surged, its roars shaking the rafters, students raising laptops like torches, elders like Ms. Ruth, a Zion Hill stalwart, weeping. "Devon's our star, our pride." Maya's X Live hit 400 million views. "Devon's our king, Atlanta's tech crown." #TechBias. His keynote wove a tapestry of his journey. Westminster's marble scorn, Brooks' Morehouse lab, the Harrisons' gilded sneers, Edequity's ascent from a scholarship kid's Chromebook to a $2 billion juggernaut. "Tech is power," he said, his words a poem of justice, a language to rewrite who leads, who dreams, who builds tomorrow. "Atlanta, you're my code, my fire, my home." The audience leaped, their cheers a gospel choir, coders chanting, investors nodding, the hall a crucible where legacy burned eternal. Devon's crown a beacon forged in Mechanicsville's heart, where streetlights flickered and redemption sang. The summit was a supernova. Panels on diversity in tech, hackathons for youth, $100 million in grants for Black and underserved coders, all sparked by Devon's rise. He launched the Carter Tech Academy in Mechanicsville, funded by his personal wealth and Edequity's profits, teaching kids on the same cracked lots where he dreamed, his voice fierce. "Code your truth, y'all. No shade can stop your light." The Academy, free boot camps, state-of-the-art labs, scholarships to Georgia Tech, Morehouse, Spelman, lit the neighborhood like a constellation. Kids like little Jamal, 11, writing his first app, his eyes wide. "I want to be like Devon." Zion Hill Baptist hosted coding vigils. Ms. Ruth's came tapping a rhythm of hope. Devon's our hope, our future. Angela led community tech expos. Her hands no longer steering buses, but lifting laptops for kids. Her colleagues at MARTA funding servers, their faith afire. Brooks Morehouse crew taught classes, their voices echoing. Devon paved the way. Maya's app scaled to 1 million users, her platform connecting Black coders globally, her voice fierce. Devon's my blueprint, y'all. EdEquity soared. $2.5 billion valuation, partnerships with the United Nations, Google, Microsoft, and 200 HBCUs. Its platform serving 150 million students. Its AI-driven lessons tailored to every learner. Its impact earning Devon a Time 100 nod and a Nobel nomination. He keynote for global forums, Davos, TED, the UN, his voice amplified. Code for justice, for community, for us. The Harrisons faded into obscurity, their Buckhead mansion now a hub where Mechanicsville coders like Corey, a high school senior mentored by Devon, built apps for transit equity, his voice soft. Devon, you showed me I could dream. Preston, humbled, sought Devon's mentorship, his voice cracked. Carter, you were right. I was wrong. Devon nodded, his heart steady. Build something real, Preston, not shade. Aisha Patel, EdEquity's CFO, led a $500 million Series C round, her voice sharp. Devon's vision is global, unstoppable. Lisa Tran, the VC who seeded EdEquity's first round, stood stage-side, her voice fierce. He's Atlanta's architect, tech's future. Mechanicsville glowed, coding labs in church basements, hackathons on community lots, kids dreaming under streetlights, their sneakers scuffed, their apps blazing. Angela's expos grew, uniting Atlanta's tech scene with its grit, her voice radiant. My son built a world. Brooks Morehouse Lab hosted global coders. Maya's platform launched a venture fund for Black startups. Ms. Ruth's vigils swelled with choirs. Atlanta's jazz clubs pulsed with EdEquity fundraisers, their saxophone notes a tribute to Devon's fire. The legacy was grueling. Sleepless nights, investor battles, echoes of shade from new skeptics. But Devon's code, his keychain, his blackness were his crown, forged in Mechanicsville's heart, where laptops hummed under flickering fluorescence and redemption burned eternal. He walked the innovation hub that evening, the former Harrison mansion alive, Marble Hall's now labs, chandeliers illuminating coders, Mechanicsville youth debugging apps beside MIT grads. Angela joined him, her dress swaying, her voice soft. You did it, son. You built a world. Brooks followed, her eyes fierce. This is your kingdom. Devon, a legacy for dreamers. Maya filmed, her app streaming. This is us, y'all. Devon's heart swelled, his keychain a pulse, his startup a fire that outshone marble scorn, his legacy a chainbreaker for every coder dreaming in the dark. A memory flared. Mechanicsville, 2021, Devon 18, scaling EdEquity's beta, Brooks' voice fierce. Your code's your legacy. Devon, let it rain. Angela's hands, calloused from MARTA routes, powered his server, her sacrifices, years of night shifts, skipped meals, fueling his fire, her love a beacon. Mechanicsville's cheers had swelled then, a gospel choir under streetlights, their faith afire. That vow, build, no shade, a legacy, shone eternal, a star kindled in Atlanta's rhythm, where choirs sang, streetlights flickered, and elders like Ms. Ruth spun tales of survival. The Atlanta Tech Summit Hall was Devon's kingdom. The Harrisons scorn ash, his fight a constellation lighting the world, his truth a startup soaring through the clouds, his code a chainbreaker for every dreamer coding on cracked asphalt. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs to know what true strength looks like. Join us at Narratives of Black Struggles for more stories that ignite resilience and demand justice.